What's up, y'all? This is Dustin from Journey to Master, and I wanted to do an episode explicitly talking to people that are thinking about joining an apprenticeship and getting into the electrical industry. I get so many comments from people, and most of the time they're the same thing. Like, do you really think this is a good idea to be an electrician? And how do I get into it? And I've already done videos on them, so but I think that people want like a little bit more information about it because of the volume of people that are saying like, "Fuck yeah, dude, I'm sold, I'm going in," or like, "Thanks for the video, I started 3 months ago and this is fucking awesome, but like, how do I be a good apprentice? Like, what does it entail being an apprentice, and what do you go through?" So I just wanted to do a video that talks explicitly to the green guys, the new guys, the guys thinking about getting into this. So first of all, you're going to hear a term interchangeably used constantly: helper. An apprentice is a helper. In Texas, most of the time we call them helpers. Apprentice is the license you have, but you're really thought of as somebody that's helping the journeyman or helping the master that you're working with. Your job is solely to anticipate need. So think about that term: anticipate need. A good apprentice is constantly anticipating the guys around him and trying to figure out what they need next so that they can have shit ready for these guys. So you really have to spend a lot of time watching the guys around you. The worst fucking thing in the world is to have an apprentice that's sitting there on his phone and he's got earbuds in all the time, and you can't ever, like, you're yelling at him and he's not hearing you, and it's like, dude, fucking get off your goddamn phone. Like, you're not here to talk on the phone. You're not here to fuck around. Like, you're here to work. If I'm working, you should be working. So that's my first big thing. The other thing is work your ass off. When you're there, try to soak up every bit of knowledge. Ask every kind of question you could imagine. You're going to be thrown into so many environments in the first year that you just have no fucking clue what's going on. And you feel stupid kind of standing around. You don't want to stand around, but you don't want to just go pick something up and start doing something because you'll probably get yelled at for it. But just ask a lot of questions, and ask the guys when you get there, be like, how can I help you? What do you need me to do? What can I do to make your job easier? There's going to be some companies that the way they approach helpers is the journeyman does everything, and the apprentice, all he does is just go back and forth to the truck and get shit all the time for a while. But that's needed, man, because the journeyman knows what he's doing, and for him to do his job more efficiently and faster, instead of him having to get down and go to the truck and get something and stop what he's doing, a journeyman will get into a groove. And when he's doing something repetitively over and over and he's listening to music, he's just in this zone. And to have somebody that can run and get shit constantly for him makes the entire job go much faster. And then when you've got a job where like there's one journeyman and like 5 apprentices or 5 helpers, that happens quite a bit too. But having all of these people be able to help you that you can delegate tasks to is really crucial. At first, you're not going to be doing anything that's really that important. Like if you get into a residential setting and you're wiring homes, they might just have you go around and nail up boxes. They'll tell you how to do one, and they'll have you do 300 of them. And it may seem boring at first, but that's the point of doing that, is to get you exposure to the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, so it locks in your muscle memory and how to use your tools, and it locks in your brain how to do these things correctly. So you may be putting 300 plugs in before you ever put a switch in. You may be only running, like, drilling holes and running wire from this plug to this plug to this plug to this plug. You may do a lot of that for a while, but the better you become at it faster, and the more questions you ask, and the more you seem like a really hard worker and that you're driven to learn this shit, and that you volunteer for things. Like if you see a journeyman picking up something, just be like, hey man, let me do that. I know how to do that. Let me try to mess around with the panel after you've been doing this for a little while. Like if you see guys doing stuff, don't be annoying and ask at the wrong times, but like if you're sitting in the truck and you're driving for an hour, pick that journeyman's brain, man. Like how do transformers work, and what is 3-phase power versus single-phase power? Like, why do they call it single phase if there's 2 hots, and they call it 3-phase for 3 hots? And like just start asking questions. Think of shit that makes you curious and start asking lots and lots of questions. But know that you're not there as like a crucial member. You're there to help. You're there to help, and while you're helping, you're soaking up everything around you. And I would watch how different journeymen and different masters around you do things. You're going to come across, you'll have to work with journeyman A for like a week, and then the week after you're going to go work with journeyman B for like 3 weeks, and they do shit completely opposite. And you're like, but what the fuck, like this guy's been telling me to do this, and now I'm getting yelled at from doing that. That's going to happen a lot. Like everywhere you go, every company you go, because everybody does things differently, and it's okay. Everybody has different reasons for doing things differently. Like one guy does something really efficiently if he does it this way, and the other guy, does things really neat and he likes to do it this way. And some guys are just really fast and they just slam shit together. But speed, because of the kind of jobs that they're doing, speed is more important than like taking your time and being really methodical with everything. But while you're doing all of this, as you're coming up as an apprentice, you're in your first year, you're in your second year, you start to see all of these different ways of doing things. And you should start adopting your own way. And however you do it, as long as it's, to code and it's good, and you look at your work and you're like, fuck yeah, that is awesome. That's some good work that I just did. Do the same thing and do it that way every time for the rest of your career. Like if you go and you're twisting joints together, and you do like 7 twists, and you like to have like the first 3 inches of the wire twisted and your joint twisted, like do that every single time the rest of your career. And the more that you can get consistent at the way you do things, the less problems that you're going to have in the future, because you're developing muscle memory and you're developing, just this, like not even needing to look at things because it's just a part of you. Like my tools, I don't even look at my tool belt anymore. Like I can reach down and know where everything is. I can reach down and grab a tool, do something, throw it back in, reach down and grab another tool. I just have built up that muscle memory over doing this for so many years. So some other things that are appreciated when you're an apprentice, it's appreciated by us guys that are going to be using y'all. Show up on time every day. Like a lot of apprentices tend to be younger guys, new to the workforce, and showing up like 60 miles an hour through the driveway, sliding in 4 minutes late for work, or showing up 15 minutes late for work all the time. That shit's not going to fly, man. Like in this trade, all of the guys on a job depend on each other. And the more cohesive you can be as a team, the better it's going to be. The more that guys razz each other and give each other shit and joke around, like it all builds this bond between all of y'all. And don't, if somebody yells at you for doing something, don't be like, oh, fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore. Man, it's part of it, like you're not working with groomed fingernails in an office environment where everybody has to be politically correct and deal with ambiguity. And no, dude, you're swinging fucking hammers and there's shit falling from ceilings and there's electricity that's hot, and if you drop something on somebody's head, it could shock the fuck out of them. Or like this is an environment where you really got to pay attention and be there, like focus and be there all the time. Don't be at home thinking about your girlfriend and the fight you guys had while you're at work, because you're not going to be paying attention and you could fucking get somebody killed. So that's just one, aspect of all of this. But again, your job is to anticipate needs. So you're going to climb above the other apprentices, the other helpers, if you're the guy that all the other journeymen want to have with them. And the way that you're going to be that guy is not being the cool guy that says all the funny jokes. You're going to be the guy that busts his fucking ass and gets it. Like you see a guy go up on a ladder and you see like, oh shit, he's going to start putting that pipe together, and I don't see any connectors around him. I don't even see his drill. So I'm going to fucking go grab his drill, his connectors, even if he doesn't need them. Fuck it. Like I'm just going to get everything that I think that he's going to need, because the second he asks for it, I want to be like, boom, here it is. Like that's what makes a good apprentice. And those kind of guys tend to get more attention from all of the other journeymen and the masters, because they're the ones that they want to have around. They get it. They get the work ethic, and they get the speed, and they get the efficiency, and they're asking all kinds of questions, and you can just tell they're hungry. So that it's like doing this for 10 years, I can't tell you how many fucking helpers I've had, how many apprentices that have worked out, have not worked out. But I usually give my all. Like, I dump my knowledge onto them in whatever pace I think that they're capable of adhering to that. And it's few and far between that you get one that's just like stands out. That's like, fuck yeah, man, this guy's going to work out. Like, I could see him being a master electrician someday. And those are the guys that you really want to keep dumping your knowledge into. If you see some guy that's just like a fucking idiot and just doesn't get it, and he's lazy, and it's just like, for lack of a better term, just doesn't get it. Journeymen and masters know what I mean by that. There's guys that just don't fucking get it, and you can tell right away that they're not going to work out. So we don't want to put much time and effort into them. We know that they're just going to be a day laborer. They're probably going to last for 3 months and be fucking gone. So just don't be that guy. What else do I have? Don't be late for work. Bust your ass all the time. Ask a whole lot of questions. Tools. I have a video on my Electrician U channel that talks about apprentice tools. You want to get a good set of tools. Tools can kind of be expensive in this trade, but they're really bomb-ass tools. And if you're going to do this for a long time, like investing in tools, and every paycheck you get, like throw $20 in an envelope in the top of your closet and just write tool fund on it. You're going to constantly be buying tools. Not like, hundreds of dollars of tools a month or anything like that. But if you buy yourself a new, like badass 11-inch flathead screwdriver 1 month, or you buy like a new kind of strippers another month or something like that, like, keep up with your tools and get good tools. Klein, Klein, is a great brand. Most guys use Klein, so anything that you can buy of Klein is going to be great. There's one called Knipex. I don't even know. It might be Knipex. It might be Knipex. It's Knipex. They're German made, but they're outstanding tools, and I've heard every fucking person say different ways how to pronounce it. But that's another really great brand. Commercial electric, your shit's gonna break. Like, constantly you're gonna be doing shit with needle nose, and the fucking tips are gonna break off, or your dikes are gonna be like, they're just gonna fall apart, or some dumb shit. Like, they're just low made tools. I wouldn't buy anything like Cobalt screwdrivers. Milwaukee seems to be stepping up their game lately, so Milwaukee has come out with a lot of electrical tools. A lot of them are not explicitly electrical rated, so for like dealing with hot wires and stuff like that, they haven't always been designed for electricians, but they're starting to come out with more stuff, and they're actually not that bad. Still got to go Klein's at the top. Southwire has, it's a wire company. They make wire, but they've started becoming a tool company, and so they're trying to make all these tools. But my opinion is that I always trust tools that have been tools for a long time. Like, Klein's been making shit for like a fucking 100 years or something like that. Like, they have been making these same tools for a century. They haven't been a wire maker, and in the last 5 years they're starting to perfect the tool game. Like, their tools are shit. They're wire guys. Just stick to making wire. Stay in your fucking lane. That's my opinion about the tools. Milwaukee's always made tools, but they've always made pretty good, like, drills and stuff like that. But recently they're getting into the electrical game. But they've got a lot of money and like engineers, and they've at least been in the trades long enough that I think that the stuff that they're putting out is worth looking into. I got a couple Milwaukee things, but it's usually because like somebody gave me a Milwaukee tool and I just threw it in my bag, because I keep 2 or 3 sets of every fucking tool that I can. In case one breaks, you got another one. Or if a helper forgets his fucking tools one day, you've got an extra set for his lazy ass. But yeah, anyways, just get good tools. Invest in a good drill. You don't want a shitty Craftsman drill or some, like fucking 13-year-old drill with a battery that's like this big, like get a lithium ion, 24 volt or 18 volt or 12 volt too. But like a modern, good Makita, Milwaukee, rigid. Those are really my top 3: Makita, Milwaukee, rigid. DeWalt's got some good stuff too. I personally just use Makita because the guys that I started doing this were using Makita, and I've used Makita ever since. But there's some shit that I wish Makita did differently, and there's some things that they have not come out with that it pisses me off because other guys have, you know, like Milwaukee's got so much shit, and I'm jealous of all the stuff that they have, but there's some stuff about their tools I don't like either. But invest in a good tool belt, good hand tools, and a good drill. Go get your apprentice card before you start calling around to these companies asking if they're hiring. But beyond that, that's pretty much it. That's what it's like being an apprentice. You're a helper. You're a bottom rung guy. So climb that ladder, boys. Peace.